You see, there's been a big misconception in the world of hypnosis. Hypnosis is a natural state. It's something we go in and out of all the time. But we can use that state to affect our own behaviors. So this is a do with. I'm gonna work with your unconscious mind. I'm gonna work with this 88. You're gonna work with the 12, right? Because together, when we work together, we can bring 100% of the mind together. That's the power of your own mind.
So I just attended Talib's group hypnosis, Beyond the Mind, and it was amazing. And the fact that I feel so refreshed and so energetic afterwards is amazing. It's a wonderful feeling. This was a bonus. So for the last couple days, I had been experiencing a pain behind my face. On a scale from 1 to 10, not even a 1, more like a dull ache. And while we were going through the process, I was able to let that go, and I was actually able to pinpoint the root of that disease during the meditation process and during the visualization. And since we've been done, I haven't felt that pain, that dull ache behind my face that I had been feeling like for the last few days. If you're in the Las Vegas area, come and give this a try. It's a wonderful experience, and I'm sure that you'll get some great benefit from coming to do this.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Beyond the Mind. We are not here to teach you. We're just here to remind you. We want to welcome you all again. I got my very always special co-host, Chef, with me. And we were having a pretty interesting conversation in the back. You know, Peach felt like it was getting heated. And I'm like, I don't understand why you feel like nobody is, responding emotionally. We're just giving our opinions here. If I feel like something isn't valid, I want proof of why you're making a statement. But, it was so juicy. I was like, well, shoot, do we even explain it? Do we just keep talking?
Right.
So, first of all, I just want to say happy Friday to everybody. I hope you had an amazing week. Hope you had a week that allowed you to expand yourself and maybe even challenge yourself. Maybe you had an opportunity to let some things go. If you did, please leave a comment in the chat because we love to hear from you. Also, we will be opening up the lines as we always do. But I have a very sneaky, funny suspicion that people will be joining us, and it won't be anybody we normally know or anything. We're just going to be some new faces, people that's been watching for a while, that's been enjoying the content. It's like, you know what? Let me just get up here and speak with these guys. But today's topic is about midlife crisis in men and how it shows up in the modern era. And the reason that we picked this because me and Chef was talking earlier this week, and we were looking at our lives and where we are as men, and it really did bring up some interesting conversation amongst us about the differences of today and how it's showing up in our lives even today, and which made me want to do a little bit more research personally and find out a little bit more about it and see if this is something that is being experienced more vastly. Or is it an anecdotal situation where we're like Jedi, so we're doing some, going through some, I don't know, way of the will force or something. But
was that toast?
No, that wasn't toast. Actually, if I smell toast, you should call 911. They say if you smell toast, you're having a stroke.
Okay, I'm not smelling it, but I heard it.
Yeah, no, that's not toast.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I do love some toast, but yeah, so that's what we were gonna speak about today and get a little bit into, and possibly go back and forth because we have some differences about that, and so if there's men out there that would love to join the Discord about what we're talking about, which is midlife crisis in men and how it shows up in the modern era is not the same as it showed up, say, 30, 40 years ago, or even 25 years ago.
Or if you are between the ages of 38 to 55, are you even aware that you're in the either beginning stages or the middle stages or the end stages of a midlife crisis? Are you aware?
Well, it's only a
aren't
crisis
aware.
that affects you. And it's not all men that experience midlife crisis. These are not all men.
It shows up in different ways.
It depends on.
It doesn't always have to be a tragic. It doesn't always have to be a disaster. It actually can be pleasant.
Then it's not a crisis.
Identity crisis?
Identity crisis is nothing pleasant about that.
Yeah, but I mean, is it a midlife crisis part of identity issues?
Yes, that's what we were talking about in the back room. I didn't get into my bunch of facts and stuff that I went to research. I'm commanding.
Come on, let's put them gloves on. Let's not waste no time. They want to hear it. They want to hear it.
But no. We were in the back where he began to speak a little bit. I don't want to talk for you, right? I think that's how real confusion begins. But you could express what you were speaking on. But
what I forget the subject. What I was alluding to was that one thing has led to the other. I think I don't actually remember the subject, but I remember what I was trying to do. I was alluding to how one thing was leading to the next thing, and it wasn't that many degrees of separation. So,
and I was saying that that my whole point of this whole thing is that a midlife crisis for men it's an identity crisis. It's a psychological crisis of aging, of moving forward, of going. Time has moved so far forward that you are not going back, right? And this causes a person to begin to ruminate and also begin to evaluate existentially the meaning of their life.
Yes.
And for men, this is intrinsically tied to their identity. So before, back in the 80s and 90s, when a man was going through a midlife crisis, right? What he would do? He would buy a sports car.
Brand new Corvette, bro.
Right? Try to get him a young girl, right?
Drop top, dude.
Right.
Going to Brazil. Are you crazy?
This is what.
Or
this
to Jamaica.
Is
we talking about the 80s. It was Brazil or Jamaica. That was it. Or Mexico. That was
right.
it.
And then there was the average man that spent way more on a sports car than he could actually afford.
Oh yeah.
And end up doing a bunch of things and ruin his marriage, right? Because he can't communicate properly that he's feeling invalidated by his age and where he thinks he's supposed to be.
Remember when those drop top Fox bodies first came out?
I'm just saying. Every dude in a midlife crisis, they must have sold millions of them cars just in midlife crisis.
So many marriages ended because of them Fox bodies.
Right. When today midlife crisis does show up like that, right?
Yeah. Because
men today, right, the generation that is coming into this today, they didn't have those accomplishments, right? A lot of these men, they went to school, right? They tried to get the good job, get the girl. The marriage failed. The girl wasn't right for them, or they didn't know how to sustain the relationship, right? They couldn't afford a house because the median price of a house is literally 3 times more than when your grandfather who told you to get up, pull yourself up by your bootstraps ever was, right?
As if that was the cure.
Right, as if that was the cure. So running out buying a brand new fancy cars, the last thing on his mind, society on his mind to some degree has failed him, right? And so what ends up happening to men today, they look internally, they start going into this kind of self-help world and routine of, okay, I'm going to do this and reinventing themselves. You know what I'm saying? So the reinvention is more internalized than the external reinvention men used to do. By wanting to dress a certain way. There was even time dudes I remember dudes in the 90s that was having midlife crisis because all of a sudden they want to dress like young rappers, rocking around with chain, they talking like us. We look at that dude like, come on, bro, what's going on with this?
Yeah. Oh, cool old dudes. Like,
but he was too cool. His old lady always hollering at him, you know what I mean? He's trying to play video games with us and hang out all the time and burn blunts. It's like, what is this dude doing?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know, so
it looks like what I think midlife crisis today looks like is traveling, retreat. Doing showing that you are in the process or the healing process, but the adventurous healing process. That's kind of highlighted a lot. Adventure.
okay, let
A
me give
new
you
quest.
let me give you a little run. I'm gonna give you a little rundown that I put together here of the
Yeah.
differences. Okay.
Okay. So
All right.
so you did
So here we go. Here we go.
the statistics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I got it. List. I got it here, man. Your core triggers. This was the core triggers in the '80s to 2000.
Okay.
Boredom with stability and predictable lifestyle.
I can see that. I could completely see that. You know why? Because that's when people had corporate jobs.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Life was systematic.
Yeah.
So, look at the movie Fight Club. What was that all about, right?
Yeah.
Present day, 2026. Economic insecurity and the lack of stable life foundations.
Yeah. Well,
That you want to talk about
economic
that
insecurity, that's
before I
damn
move
near
on?
80% of the people, but
I mean, and when I did this, just makes it so wild to look at, because I'm like, wait a minute, because everything is so skewed and psyoped in a way where it's like you have to just pick a definitive side to everything.
uh-huh.
That nuance is left out, right? And in that nuance is many victims,
Uh-huh.
and nobody really look at how men are victims in this.
Yeah, suckers. We are the biggest suckers in this. Sucker deluxes, in fact, because we fell for the okie doke. Or you fall for it, and a man falls for it every day.
I don't know. Well, what was the okie doke? What do you mean when you say
It
that?
is the facade of life is better because you do this. This big shiny sign that says, "Oh, hey, come over here. It's great over here. You're in the perfect position to handle this right here. Come on." You know, the things that you typically can't handle when you're younger, you don't have the financial security to be able to handle it. And then you can finally afford it. And a big shiny sign that says, "Hey, I'm right here. Me, I'm right here." The attention that you never got that you are desiring to get now.
Mm. That's the okie doke. They fall
Yeah,
for that.
the okie doke. Because you're falling for the facade. Because there should be some sort of realism, and that realism is, hey man, life is fast. Time waits for no one, and your life is limited. And literally at this point, which is you probably when you start to think this way, it's probably about 40, right? When you're like, whoa, where does the time go? Or you're 39, I'm about to be 40. And then you realize like you've been living your whole life and you look up and all these years have passed and a lot of men are like, there's a lot to be proud of. Let's say a lot of people have a lot to be proud of, but then a lot of people don't. And the ones that aren't proud is just like a whole reckoning with yourself. Oh, am I not good enough? Oh, I haven't accomplished this. Oh, I haven't done that. What do I need to do? So then there's this all of a sudden this invisible deadline that you put on yourself. A lot of men do because they feel like, oh, I have this amount of time left to really be able to enjoy my life. So in that kind of thought process, you go out and, well, I can't say you. I can say I did. I can say I have some friends that have, you know what I mean? They just lost our minds, went out of town, enjoyed yourself, live damn near every fantasy you thought you could live, you know. And but at the same time, you're not really aware of what you're going through. You know, you just most men aren't aware they're going through it when you're going through it. It typically takes like a reckoning, something drastic to happen to kind of like, hold up, what's going on? Let me pull back. You know, let me.
I think this is one of those cases where two things could be true at the same time.
Mm-hmm,
You know, because some men don't do that.
mm-hmm,
Sometimes, like I'm telling you here, it is the mundane. It is the straw that broke the camel's back.
mm-hmm,
It's years doing the same thing,
mm-hmm,
right, and not exploring oneself,
mm-hmm.
right, that leads a person to one day, right, for it could be as little as the coffee being just a little off from the norm, or the coffee being just too perfect every day, same coffee.
I get it.
Right?
I get it.
It could be waking up one day and just breathing and realizing I got to go to this same place again. I don't like going there. Why have I been doing this for 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not always necessarily something that's so, awe-inspiring that it makes you evaluate your existence.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the minuscule consistency of being in what you feel is your life, and then waking up one day and seeing your life as a liminal space.
No. I mean, most people.
That was poetic.
It was beautiful, actually. Give that man a hand. Most people.
I don't have my soundboard out to push my.
Ah, man, you should have had. Anyway, most humans have a desire for change, maybe just once. Just once. I can't say everybody, you know what I mean? But I can say maybe just once, because isn't humanity about experiences, right? And I think that's kind of what happens in the midlife crisis. Men, we have a tendency to realize we haven't had many experiences, and I only got this amount of time left on this earth. With me, I can tell you this, excuse me. I can tell you this. I had children very young, and by the time my son was like about to graduate, that's when I kind of, start traveling a lot and kind of lost my mind a little bit because that was like the first time that I had just an opportunity just to, and not be too concerned. I mean, I obviously had to be concerned because I still had another child, but I didn't have that day-to-day responsibility as I did with my son. And yeah, I mean, it was different because, like how you said, I was living a life of every day going to work, taking care of the fam, going to work, taking care of the fam, going to work, taking care of the fam, and I never actually had time to travel, or I never created the time. I didn't create the time until my father passed. And when my father passed, I was in the process of dealing with his death. That's when I realized I was going through another change. And I was like, oh, okay. It's two things, two things can happen at the same time. I was going through a death of my father, also realizing I was going through a midlife crisis, and then understanding that I was going from being the son to now being the patriarch of my family. So it was a lot of different changes at that time.
Right, which would explain why you took it so far. You know what I mean? Which is very natural and normal, right? And I agree with everything you're saying. I also know that there's a whole nother set of men out there. You know what I mean? The quiet man, the one that found his place in the world. That you know what I mean? That also has these experiences that show up. But my point is that I think what you said was excellent, and I think we both agree on how one of the core trigger, the difference in the two. The second thing is the primary expression, how that showed up. And we think we covered that because in the 80s into 2000s, That was an outward rebellion.
Yeah, now it's
You know,
inward, which is beautiful. It's kind of
affairs, sports cars. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And now it's an inward focus on health, purpose, and mental wellness.
No, let me ask you this. In this industry that we're both in, excuse me. Is there a sense of arrogance within the industry? Have you experienced that? And have you
What do you mean?
either
What industry? What do you mean?
health and wellness in the life coaching? Not I don't necessarily want to say hypnotherapy. I see more of a life coaching, and but it's still kind of
They are
straddles a little bit of what we do.
They trying to attach hypnotism to it now. I'm seeing them all try to do it now, and I'm like, oh
yeah, but they don't have the full training.
No, they didn't go to HMI.
Yeah,
they don't know. They didn't go to actual college that is actually credited by the Board of Education.
So I guess what I'm saying, the arrogance within the business, within the groups. Like, okay, I just saw something the other day, basically saying Indonesia is banning all foreigners from doing events there, and we're talking about retreats. How many retreats does Bali have? Right?
Mm-hmm.
How many? Tons of retreats. So now, and part of the reason why they're banning them is because of the arrogance of the people that have either been coming and disrespecting the land, or just operating business like kind of shenanigans, or just whatever it is oversaturated and they don't want it anymore. So, and that's what I mean by the arrogance of this sort of industry. Do you understand where I'm going with that?
Yeah, you're talking about snake oil salesmen.
yeah, but that's within this, right? And
they went anything, oh my gosh, I can't think of his name. He wrote the most famous self-help book ever. Oh my goodness.
I know who you're talking about too, because I think I probably own the book.
He said Carnegie funded him to do it. What was his name? It's gonna come to me. I'm so sorry. There's a reason that I bring him up, because he was a fraud. His whole backstory, he was a wanted criminal. He was wanted. This man was wanted. Anybody can look this up. This is not a secret anymore. It doesn't matter, because what he did was so big. Half the book was made up. He made it up. It works, but he made it up, right? Snake oil salesman, right? Like what I'm seeing in is like now we have, first of all, social media created parasocial relationships and hyper entitlement.
Yes. Yep. That's absolutely correct on what you just said.
Right. And if you take those two things together and start telling people, I'm gonna show you how to manage your SP in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. You see what I'm saying? And then you have people like myself, that's been out there. I've been spreading shit. These people watch these kind of things. Other people like myself, other greats out there, they watch these people. They pick up some of the terms and lingos, and they go out and they make 100 videos about it. And they're very confident, right? And they don't have any remorse. They'll tell you they manifest everything they've ever wanted, but they're not in the castle. They're not doing a video from a private jet. First, their videos is always in their apartments. Then the next thing you know, after
you're in a hotel bed.
Call it what you want. That's an apartment you don't actually get to believe on. You know what I'm saying? They get them rooms. They sit there. They tell you these things. Then they start their little communities. They build this following up. People start sending them money. They get money. The next thing you know, they going off. They doing talks. You know what I mean? And then we both know that the reason it works is because for a time they used the 3 hypnotic modalities, right? But a lot of times these guys don't use all three properly. So something down the line pierces through their trans logic, and then they end up falling apart and disappear. By the time they disappear, it's another one taking their place. You know? So I feel like now everybody's a life coach. I don't mind. I'm not gonna hate or nothing, but let's be realistic here. You know what I mean? I think the people that should be life coaching ain't life coaching. They're too guarded. They've been hurt too many times. Ruined, you know, they have a certain type of homeostasis that prevents them from getting out here in front of new people and trying again. You know what I mean? I think there are plenty of people out here that really need to come up and step up as life coaches, and they're not all doctors or professors. These are regular people that's done extraordinary things and that made it through some incredible things. A life coach is somebody who's supposed to be able to help you with life. That could be anybody. I don't really think you should have to have a degree to be a life coach. That's ridiculous.
But most of them don't.
No, but they want to hide behind degrees and use these false titles to prop themselves up as the life coach. You see what I'm saying? Opposed to just their story and relying on the credibility of what they can actually do. You know, but everybody's saying the same thing.
Yeah, everyone wants to be well and get you better and breathe.
Right. And tell you that, you know, you can manifest instantly. You know? Oh, wait.
Well, it used to be the barber. We would just go to the barber shop.
Peach just said something behind the scenes. I don't even know if I should be saying that, but I just did.
We used to go to the barber shop when men needed advice. We go to the barber shop, go get our hair cut, go get a shave, to go talk to the barber. A whole bunch of men going through midlife crisis at the barber. If you have a barber that's your age.
Well, there was brotherhood during that time, and that does not exist in the same way. It still exists, but just not in the same way, because we're not as the way we socialize isn't the same anymore. You know?
Man, I'm thinking about just how many opportunities I've actually gotten in the barbershop. Man.
I'm sorry. Real, he said something funny though. She said I gotta say it, Peace. I'm sorry. I will say it. She said everyone has always been life coaches. Everyone has always been life coaches.
That's true.
We called it advice. True. Our grandmas were life coaches.
But if a person's advice can turn you into multi-gazillionaire, it's a little bit more than that.
She nailed it. Thank you, Peach. That was great. And that's what my point is, you know. And I feel like it's being like, I don't think you could put a hypnotherapist in the same category as a life coach, even though
it's different.
The outcome they want for you may be the same. You feel what I'm saying? But one has an infallible structure that they follow, right? And the other is a more individual based and may even be improvised and freestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's based on your experience. Hypnotherapy is based on the practitioner's experience, as well as the quality of their education. So I don't think you can put those two in the same. Like a hypnotherapist can be, go off and call himself a life coach, and in some cases you could say a life coach could go off and call himself a hypnotherapist. But me, from my training at this point and continue education, I would look at that as sort of suspect. And I've seen enough of these hypnosis boot camps to know that, nah, bro.
Yeah, no. You can get certified. You can get certified in 2 days.
2 days, and I seen they training.
$3.99.
that don't work.
$3.99.
That don't work. No wonder. No
We
wonder
only
that.
we only have 4 seats available.
You ever seen it? It looks terrible. Some of these scripts is like, whoa, that don't work.
Interesting.
I think the Ericksonian Center is the best one though, outside of HMI, in my opinion, because I love Ericsson, but they actual is legitimate. Like they get down. I feel like they get down. They get down with it. They with it. But man, no, I didn't even get. Let's continue on, shall we? That was just that. Look what that. Just look what column 1 just opened up. What a great conversation so far. Just from that one, 2 parts. Okay. Here's another interesting one. Here we go. Goals. The goal. 80s and 2000s. The goal was to recapture the youth and excellence. And excitement to recapture the youth and excitement, right? But today, and then you go ahead and let me know, all right? It's to find stability, sustainability, and meaning.
Yeah, and that's why the goal, most people's goal that I know, is to leave America and to be able to be sustained outside of it, because you're concerned about the quality of life. A lot of people are looking for the quality of life outside of this place. So,
okay, but I think it's very interesting. You know, I don't know the numbers on that. I do know that there's a whole, you know what I'm saying, movement.
Okay, I know that there's a new movement. The new movement is the American dream used to be the white picket fence, to have the white picket fence, the house, the family, the dog, you know, the 2 kids, the corporate job. Now the American dream is to be able to leave this motherfucker. Excuse my language, but for people to be able to have the possibility to be able to go somewhere else and create a quality life somewhere else. That has become the new dream.
I mean, I think that's a dream for some people, but I won't say that's like the dream for most men in America.
I'm not saying most, but
where are you getting that?
The dream is changing, my man. That's what
that's
I'm trying to tell you.
I just told you the goal has shifted from trying to regain your youth and excitement, right? Which would explain why shows like Jackass, which was done by middle-aged men. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, dudes our age.
We did that. So enthralling and entertaining, and when you look at the production, like we know in Denon, you find that these were done by older men. You know what I mean? And they were obviously going through a midlife crisis. The difference, they had money. You know,
you're producing it,
right? They had enough money to do something about it. But my point is that today, right, when you get to that age, like it's amazing that sustainability, stability, and meaning, right? That's a complete inverse of what it used to be. That's what I'm saying. It's a complete 180.
Well, I mean, we just had a conversation this week. Grady from Sanford and Son at 42.
Oh yeah, he was old.
And how he looked like he's in his 60s at 42. Who else do we have? There was someone else. What's his name? Diabetes guy. Diabetes.
Yeah, he was.
Worley, or yeah, he was 43 or something like that.
He was 49.
49. Okay.
When you're looking at that dude in Cocoon,
I thought he was 70. I thought he was 70, but
they had to put no prosthetics. They had to dye his hair.
But see, the difference in looking at just us as people. I'm 51. You're 50. Are you 50? 49, right? 49. Compare us to them and how we look in comparison to them, and I'm not bragging at all, but I'm just saying the how we don't age the same. Humans don't age the same as what we did then. The we just don't. And I don't know if it's that we don't have the same stressors because I feel like we do, or we just um, uh, tailor our look a little bit better. You know, I don't have a scraggly gray beard, and I'm not growing hair on my head and keeping it clean. And you know, I just I don't know. Is it that, or is it this? They age differently then?
Um, I just think that personally, how people age is based on one, their genetics, and two, their mindset. And that mindset creates their diet, their habits, how they view their world, their life expectancy, all of it, you know?
Man,
And
Grady was 42, bro.
but he was also, did you ever look at his backstory? He had
No,
very tragic backstory, just like Red Fox.
yeah.
These people did not have it easy. None of them did. That's why they all look so dang on old.
Hmm.
You know, they was living as men when they was doing manly things. Those they were the same age as people we call kids today.
Hmm.
You know,
Mhm.
and some of these people had jobs and was supporting their family as it was normal by 12 years old.
So
You know, they was
because
smoking cigarettes at 7 and 6.
because the years of age of expectancy has increased over time. When do you think that their mid age crisis started? In their mid 30s, 40?
That's what this is what I'm saying. Like, I think for them, you know, if you go back far enough, it probably started when they were 27.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of bald cats from the 70s, man, in their late 20s, mid to late 20s. Like, man, looking pretty old, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, receded hairline. You know, I didn't start going bald
we
until
look we look a certain way too, because another thing is that we've been pumped full of preservatives, all the foods, all the medicines, everything
yeah.
around you is, you know, and the sterileness, you know, this all has a great deal to do with how we're aging. You know, bodies are being preserved longer in the ground because of the foods that they consumed over their lifetime.
Now that's going to be a trip. I was thinking about that. I was like, wow, I wonder how is the soil going to be with all these chemicals that are going to be dissolving into the ground from the implants to the surgeries to the Botox to you
What do
know
you mean?
like
It's already you ever man, I'm a weirdo. Maybe because I'm really autistic. I just never got diagnosed. But you ever you ever study anything about water treatment?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You know what they find in your water in your city, in every city of America?
Um, no, tell me. I don't want to guess. It's going to tell me.
There is readable, testable levels of pharmaceutical barbiturates,
Mm,
amphetamines.
mm. Amphetamines. What?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, right. Because when you use the bathroom, what they do to clean for every city in America is ran through something called a water treatment plant. And
Mm-hmm.
essentially, what a water treatment plant is a giant centrifuge. And what it does is it spins the water very quickly, and it has a filtration system, and it separates the nanoparticulates from the water. Then they treat it with a pH balancer, right? And the things kill bacterium, right? But when nanoparticulates are too small and things like that too small, they get into the water. And as long as the pH balance will read 7 in the treatment system, they leave it in there. It doesn't matter. And they
Mm.
have found it is riddled with medications. It's riddled with
Mm.
suntan oil. You
Mm.
believe how much people put that stuff on, take a shower, and
Yeah.
this stuff, it's in your water,
Mm.
right? So it's in the soil,
Mm.
it's in your foods,
Mm.
right? It's in such small traces amounts that you'd have to eat a more, you know, an inordinate amount of that food for it to that stuff to have that kind of effect on you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in your body, and it is having an effect because every time you eat something, your body does this process where it takes it and breaks it down, and then it stores it in your DNA, right? And every time, that's how your cells recreate new cells and so forth like that. So yeah, we all lab rats. I don't know how I got there. That must be that.
I get it. It had to come out.
Moving on. Underlining issues. 80s to the 2000s was, for men, was a personal psychological crisis of identity. But today, it's a societal and economic crisis manifesting as poor mental and physical health. What you think about that? I'm just talking about the differences because people they still refer to it like a man's having a midlife crisis, like it's the same thing. Oh, you're just getting who you are,
Yeah, it's not. It's really not.
It's like a serious thing now.
Yeah.
And that's what I find the most interesting. Like it's completely. It literally is reverse. It's,
I can actually tell you my personal situation, because I think it's extremely informative to some men who just are not knowledgeable about what's going on. I was at the time I was like starting to work out and get myself in like fairly decent shape, and I kept noticing, like, no matter what, I could not lose my stomach. No matter what. I'm like, why am I not? And I'm going hard, I'm like, could not lose it. And someone says, hey, man, you ever get your cortisol checked? And I'm like, what? And then it came to, not understanding what cortisol does, not getting enough sleep, not understanding you're not processing things. And then someone's like, after you get into the next stages of questioning is, hey, have you gotten your blood work done? And then it's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, have you gotten your blood work done? Have you seen your levels of testosterone and estrogen? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, that's a thing? Yeah, that's actually a thing. And then getting your levels tested and understanding, how low your testosterone may be and how high your estrogen may be, and you're not understanding your mood swings and or attitudes, because that is something when men have a lot of estrogen, typically that's when that's when they're called bitchy, because of complaining, and and they don't, most men who are going through that don't even understand what's happening, because it's not a normal conversation. But when I went to the doctor and I started talking to them, they had a big old magazine on the wall, and it said menopause, and I'm looking at it, and I'm reading and I'm checking it out, and I'm like, that's actually a thing. And then the guy comes in, he's like, yeah, it's actually a thing. And we talked and checked my levels, and sure enough, my testosterone was low, and my estrogen was high. And there are things that we can do. You can take, you can eat natural foods to balance it out. Stop eating certain things to balance it out. Wear certain clothes to help yourself out. Not wearing certain underwear that's aligned with plastic. There's a lot of things that we can do to help ourselves out with proper levels of testosterone and estrogen. But the fact is if you're not aware of it, that's a big problem. And most men that are our age are not aware of your levels. And it's very important that we become aware of it. So just wanted to say that.
That was very informative.
Hopefully somebody can take that information and go get themselves checked out.
Yeah. I think that'd probably be a good idea if they're experiencing those type of things and don't know where it's coming from.
And shoot, we get into what? Hot sweats. We get hot sweats, cold sweats. we get the same thing I think women get. In terms
we're gonna get the same things because your body can only give but so many signs that something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
it's human traits. If you're a human, you're gonna get fever when your body's trying to burn something out.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? If the hypothalamia is which regulates temperature is not is off,
Mhm.
you know, yeah, you can have some real problems. But that's in any human being, you know. I think that men and women, I think that a lot of the things there was a divide created between men and women to keep people in line.
Mhm.
And so we've been sort of taught to look at each other like two separate things.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Not two halves of the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I really think it's important. Like, if I was a couple, or if I was in a relationship and my wife or my partner was going
My
through,
wife. Sorry, I had to.
okay, was going through a menopause at the same time as I was going through my midlife crisis. Just the fact that two people are aware that they're going through it puts them a leg up of everyone else, because most people aren't aware that they're both going through it at the same time. If you're within 3 years apart, 3 to 5 years apart, you know, and how frequently do people actually go through it together and acknowledge that they're actually going through their changes at the same time? And I know it happens, but how often is it like, you know what I mean? Because there's so many similarities that we just don't discuss. Extreme similarities. We wake up grumpy in the morning, grouchy, bad attitude, don't know why.
Low blood sugar.
You know what I mean? I need my cup of coffee. Everyone needs a cup of coffee, right? Then they feel better after they get a cup of coffee, get that caffeine.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
I know that some people do, some people don't. They just keep going with the. "Ah."
Yeah, but I think because we have the information now, and we're a new generation. We're not like our parents. We are giving the information to you all. Please use it. Um, if you are noticing changes and your mate is a few years apart from you, it's a good chance that they're going through changes too. And I think acknowledging each other is just like an amazing thing that you can do. So
Well, having more empathy toward the situation always works, you know, and understanding that it's not just some uh, thing that's happening like that they are choosing to do, you know.
yeah,
It's an actual thing that can happen in a person's life that can be almost like a biological clock thing, you know. And so
yeah. I mean,
you didn't even have any inclination of it one day, and then, doop, it's there, you know. So uh, I agree with you. I think people would be do really good to work together with each other. I don't think a lot of people understand each other psychologically, you know. Um,
I can say this: women have a greater tendency to acknowledge themselves going through a change than men do.
well,
We have
that's
we have problems acknowledging our
well,
change.
we have. There's. It's not just because we have problems because they were given to us. You didn't grow up in a society that promoted you expressing your feelings. You know, there's a term for a man that's soft and emotional, right? Or who'll do anything for a woman. He's called a simp. And they got levels to that, right? It's not just the extreme, but there's literally levels to that, right? There's a stick. This is why, and before it was an identity crisis, and now it's a mental health issue, right? Because when you can't live up to the image that's been crafted for you by society, you begin to feel inadequate. And now it's one thing to feel inadequate when you're 26. It's another thing to feel inadequate when you're in your 40s and you know, looking at where you are and feeling a sense of failure behind it, you know? So I think the difference is one that back then men was trying to show that they still got it. You know, I'm still the man. I still could do what I did when I was like 19. I played football. I was the best. Older dudes today do not try to pretend like they really that young. These dudes are writing rap songs about their bad knees. I literally heard one on Facebook the other day. It had me in stitches, man. I'm getting old. He was like, I'm getting old. I was like, he was, you know what I mean? Like this generation in this midlife crisis has very different outlook on. Nobody really likes these kids today, from what I've seen. They keep talking so terribly about them, and I'm like, I don't understand it, man. They are your future. You know what I mean? They are the ones you're going to have to do business with, whether you like it or not. You know.
A couple of days ago, we're going to speak of the younger generation. My son has a group of friends that I've known for a long time, and I've been the quote unquote the cool dad, right? The dad that gets to come and gets invited to all the events and still gets to hang out with them a little bit. But you are so correct, man. And like, it's so important for us to give that generation, because they don't have it. Like, they don't have we got to learn life by living it. We got to go out and experience, go run the streets, stay out to a certain time. You had neighbors that looked out for each other. You know, there was just a different way of life. I've always tried to make a point to be in my son's life in terms of like, and his friends and his social things, just so they know that, hey, there's one person that you can always rely on, whether it's by conversation or just showing up, right? You can all of his friends can come and ask me for advice, and they do. They're in their own way, right? But it's that generational difference, and most of them are inquiring information about how were things when you came up, right? That's most of the questioning is like, and then when we compare it, I'm like, you guys have no idea how much freedom we have versus what you have, and even at that time, we didn't think we had the kind of freedom that we had. We thought they were clamping down too much. And now we're like, there's no way. There's no way. Right? But as someone who's middle-aged now, it is my duty to let the younger generations know what's coming. Because the people before us didn't. So we have to. We don't have to, but we should, because we have the information.
I agree with you, you know, but when you're looking at a midlife crisis to this level, it's kind of wild, you know.
Well, a lot more chemicals.
The cultural view in the 80s and 2000s was, and you're going to agree with this one, it was a cliche to be mocked. I can think of like 3 or 4 comedy movies right off the top of my head that was rightly based off that. Old School being one of them.
Yeah. I mean, what Milton Berle used to always have cap for everybody. Like, he wasn't like playing. He was like, stack them up, let's go.
And here's the cultural view of it today. A serious, underreported mental health story.
How many of those do you know?
I'm sure we all know at least one.
Exactly. You couldn't even. Your thoughts went. That's I saw it because it's too many to count, and it happens too often now, right? So at what point? At what point do we accept responsibility within our own crises to be responsible for another, like someone else? Or is it, and I know you say everyone doesn't feel like they have to be responsible. I get that part. But for the ones that do, for the people that also feel like they have a lot more empathy than others, at what point should we start, besides you and I, but listeners, at what point should they start giving the information out to the youth or the younger men to let them know what's coming? You know, hey, you're not gonna always be able to run that fast. You better stop jumping off. Better stop jumping off of that ladder like that. You know,
I
Those
see
kind
that. I don't use language like that's just setting somebody up for failure down the line. You know what I'm saying? I could educate them with saying if you want to stay fit and you want to be able to do this into your older age, there's things you're going to have to do to take care of your body. You're going to
There
have
it
to be conscientious, right? Your body is not meant to take on all of this strain. There's going to come a day if you continue to abuse your body is going to abuse you back. There
Yeah.
are things and lanes I could store in a young person's mind that so when they get older, they
Mhm.
won't be looking at it as a notice the midlife crisis right now is psychological. Men
Mm.
say,
Mhm.
right? It's not a physical thing,
It's
it's a
not.
psychological thing.
Oh, you got
Men,
somebody in chat.
oh, who we got?
Oh, that was you. My bad.
Me.
Sorry, I didn't mean
I
to
didn't, I
interrupt
didn't do
you.
nothing.
Didn't mean to interrupt you, brother. Sorry about that.
Oh, I was cooking with
You
some
sure
turkey
are.
bacon grease,
You
man.
sure are. You still are going. Here we go. I'm gonna throw some gravy on it. Bam! There you go. Come back.
You gone. Amnesia like that.
No, you were saying, you know, jeez.
It was good though.
Yeah,
I
it
know
was
that. It was,
Peach. Where did we leave
you ain't
off?
gonna jump in and tell us what we were saying.
She's like, whatever.
Whatever.
My bad,
You
man.
like
You was on a roll.
hypnotize yourself and
You was
remember
cooking with grease too.
it.
Uh-huh.
But that's what I had for the comparisons on the research that I did. And I just found it was very interesting that it went from this cliche joke to like,
There we go.
oh, my uncle's going through a midlife crisis. You know what I mean? Look, you got a sports car. Yeah. You know, oh, he hurt himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Oh,
Mhm.
so and so's not here no more. Why? Oh, bro, you don't even want to know. He was dark.
He was dark. He was.
I know how to get Peach to come out. I'll be like, I hit a reverse psychology. Peach won't come on here. And we'll be like,
No,
nobody can tell her what she'll do. Hey,
you
Peach.
said that. I'm trying to remember because again, this is old age, right? The memory
Oh.
thing.
First thing to go. First thing to go.
But
Memory.
you said that a midlife crisis is not a physical one; it's a mental one. It's a battle
Boom.
with your mind.
Boom, boom, boom.
Thank you,
Yes.
Peach.
Yes,
Thank
and
you.
because we are the generation, probably the first generation where it's not physical, where it is mental and only mental, right? But the
For
physical,
men,
yeah, for men, excuse me, for men, because the men of this generation are trying to fight the father time by doing things to try to fight father time, and this is the difference now.
You saying
Versus-
men are doing things now to fight for the time?
Yes,
What
yes.
you mean?
Well, I mean, what do you mean? What I mean?
Well, I feel like men before was trying to fight for the time. You know?
Yeah,
When-
but it's a lot more different. There's like peptides. There's all kind of stuff people are taking.
well, science have come further,
Yeah.
and the science of men's health has come further. And when you don't put all that time and energy into other people, and you put it into yourself, you'd be surprised at what you would come across, and be able to get and do. Right? Like, I agree with everything you be saying. I'm not disagreeing with this. I'm just expounding on it, like, and adding another layer
Yeah.
to it, like saying, hey, well, we do have that too, because I don't think you could take. First of all, men is like this wide net, right? You take out ethnicity when you say men. You take out culture when you say men.
Yeah.
You take out psychology when you say men.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw these things out there that didn't exist before, and maybe they did. We just didn't know about them. Penile enlargement.
What you said?
Penile enlargement. Right? Penis
you
enlargement.
Oh, I thought you meant like making the jail bigger.
No, penis enlargement. That exists now. That didn't exist before. All
That was
they
dope. I'm trying to be lighthearted today. and
I
be
mean,
more,
it's just so
notice
many
I
things that
haven't
exist
sounded like
now
a
that didn't
machine.
exist for men before.
They had penis enlargement back then. What are you talking about, man? You never
Not
saw
on a
Dirty
scale-
Magazine
listen,
back
not
in the
on
day?
the scale of what it is now.
Well,
All
they
right?
didn't have Amazon then, man. That's not fair.
Okay. So then what else did they have? It was
You said they didn't
Cialis,
have it.
Cialis, and Viagra didn't exist before, right? It may have in a prescription, but it wasn't like it didn't come out to 2000. Viagra. So there's things that this generation has advantages that we're not really aging like the previous generations were, because they have invented things to try to keep us as young as possible for as long as possible. Because they know in men, youth sells. For everybody, youth sells, but specifically men.
No. What?
Yeah, we try to want to be young. Like we try to do everything we can to maintain our youth. It doesn't show physically, but mentally we try to do things to
Like the
maintain
men
our youth.
today are trying to do, they're doing something different because they're going within, right? So men today are, if you really looking, is what they're trying to do is when they hit this midlife crisis, they're trying to mature.
Yes, but also when you're tapping into yourself,
when men back then, they weren't trying to mature, they was trying to return to childhood, which is the opposite of maturing.
fantasy,
It's the fancy cars and affairs
fantasy.
versus going to spiritual retreats, meditating, and spending half your time in the gym.
The gym is an outlet, is a huge outlet.
Yes.
Gym I
Youth
do
is
see the
sold
gym.
to women like crazy.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Youth is sold to women like crazy.
I'm in terms of being sold to. I don't necessarily know if men are markets of selling that to, but the idea of us, how we see ourselves when let's say you're working out.
No, they sell you physique. That's
Yes.
not necessarily youth. I
Okay.
can show you. They call
No,
them
you're right.
dad bods. You
No,
got
you're right.
dudes that's in their 50s and they pumped up and looking
Physique.
good, and they
Yeah.
got gray beards. They're
Yes,
not
physique.
trying to look young.
That they sell
They're
physique,
trying to
yes.
look the peak of their
Life.
like Michelangelo. I'm trying to be the
Yeah.
physique and peak of my human capability. That has nothing to do with just youth. That has to do with endurance, ability, and this drive to transform yourself into this image that you see.
Mhm.
Whereas in women directly are trying to stay young. They're selling youth to women.
What, adrenochrome?
Listen, there are many beautiful, beautiful, amazingly beautiful women in their 40s. But if you go and look into these dating things and listen to these guys and other people who are telling you, they would tell you that these women in their 40s, these beautiful women, are not worthy of being married to because they're too old. I'm not making this up. That's not my opinion.
I'm not going to touch this one. I'm going to let that be right here.
Listen, you did touch this. Okay? You on that Spider-Man brand new AGS right now. You just uncontrolled. You got you stay up against the wall, man. You got me up. How long this lasts? 2 hours.
Oh man.
No, but hey, Pete, you can open up the lines. We just got through our first hour. I want to thank everybody. This is Beyond the Mind Hypnotherapy.
Hopefully they're enjoying it.
Masiki and Talib Kern Sr. We're both certified hypnotherapists and still continuing our education with HMI. And we're looking to be some of the people that leave there with some of the highest honors that the place has to offer, and certified in many other modalities as well. So this is a wonderful experience we're having today. We wanted to try something, dude. We listened to the Peach behind the scenes. She like, Talib, you gotta bring it down. So I was like, you know what? I can do that. I don't mind. I can do it. It don't bother me. I don't, I'm like, okay, maybe today we won't, over-inundate you with a bunch of modalities and tools, Maybe we'll just get one of you to come up and we'll share something with you and transfer somebody's life for the day, give them some deep relaxation or something that they can use for the day, just to benefit everybody,
How about handwriting, some therapeutic journaling? How about that? That would be awesome because we can let Just do one thing, and we could
We
just
did
let
that
them.
last time, the springboarding. Now I'm
I
putting
had a question.
Uh-oh.
All right. So behind the scenes, we were discussing, since we know you guys were talking about cis men, and we have a variety of viewers. How does the midlife crisis show up for trans men, being that they have testosterone and stuff?
As we said, it's psychological. It's not a
Okay.
testosterone thing. That does not. It is one of the effects, right? But low testosterone doesn't necessarily just come from a midlife crisis. Low testosterone can also come from how you're living your life, lack of exercise, poor
Oof.
dieting, right? You shouldn't wait until you're in a midlife crisis to test your testosterone. That's something that you should check every like once a year at least if you want to.
At least
great.
when you're under 30, at least every other year.
Yeah, when you're under,
If you're 40, once a year.
But like I said to you behind the scenes, I would love to even maybe come back on the other show, and if anyone in the show is maybe Tim, because he's like I'm not sure exactly how old he is, but he's an older gentleman. He's not old, but you know what I mean.
He's around our age.
He's around our age, right? I was figuring Tim was like our age.
Yeah, he's around our age.
So I would love to be able to talk to Tim about some of that, right? Because then I could get a better insight, and then I could do some more research into that and find out how that and see if there's been studies.
I actually have questions
on
about
trans
it.
men about midlife crises. You feel what I'm saying?
I mean, that's a great question, because my question is, if you're trans and you're under a higher dose of estrogen, like, and your testosterone is low already, and they're upping your estrogen, that's because
they up your testosterone
for men.
For trans men.
For trans men,
Yeah,
do
for
they?
trans men, yeah.
They up their testosterone, really?
Yeah,
they still up it. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just a natural thing, because either way, it's off. So they probably have to up it just to be safe.
So just a quick guess. So we saying that it's not physical, is it psychological?
Well,
just a wild guess. How would you think it would affect the trans man psychologically going through midlife?
I don't know, but I can tell you how it affected me.
But you're not a trans man. We already know.
No, but you don't know how it affects a person. So how do you? If I can tell you how it affects just a normal man, and then you can a heterosexual man. I shouldn't say that. That's wrong. A heterosexual man versus a trans man, and I'm sure the comparisons are not that far off, because testosterone is calming. It literally brings you down. It's something that it is not something that brings you up. It's the complete opposite. And estrogen brings a men up. So, I'm curious to know what it does. I'm curious to know if it has the same effect, and I think it does.
I wouldn't doubt that the testosterone has the same effect. I'm saying that the midlife crisis, I don't think it would show up the same. I personally, I think it may show up differently depending on the person's lifestyle. How at what point in their life they became a man, right? And if they became a man during a midlife crisis, you feel what I'm saying? I would need to have a better understanding. For this particular case, I have a good understanding because we all have a good broad stroke about the heterosexual men and what I'm speaking about, right? But when it comes to trans man, it's a little bit, it's different just by the lack of information. You feel what I'm saying? I would figure that a trans man would have a different psychological struggle, maybe about acceptance or not caring to be accepted. You know what I mean? Or like I said, I can't really go too far into that because every trans man didn't become a trans man the same way. And they don't all come from the same background. And every one of them have a different reason for it that got them to where they are in their life, right? So that's what I mean by I couldn't really say, and I wouldn't want to try to say, like, definitively that, oh well, a trans man would experience no, because from our understanding of midlife crisis, they would experience a midlife crisis infallibly. I would think so, because I think a midlife crisis is like, um, once again, something, especially here in America, we all suffer from at some point, unless we've achieved some sort of level of enlightenment where we have a deep self-acceptance, right? And I don't think without it, there's going to be this sense when you get to a certain age of reflecting on your accomplishments and what you didn't do and what you could have done. And I don't think, in my own personal opinion, that a trans man wouldn't have the same process of thinking. But my question would be, what would that be thinking of?
Cool. But you know what? What you said was just profound to me, because then the light bulb clicked in. And like you said, you know, midlife crisis is just about you not achieving something in life, or you're not where you want to be. And I guess ultimately just to transition is where they want to be. So they may not even suffer from midlife crisis.
I don't know. I mean, this is an extremely interesting subject.
But here's what I'm saying. Because it's so intrinsically tied to identity.
Right. And they're, you know, it's identity, and they're becoming who they're supposed to be.
But there's also two things happening at the same time, because you have just the natural state of men just losing testosterone, and then their estrogen shooting up at a certain age, just that natural state, and then them combating that with other hormones. So you have their natural state that's happening, and then them combating that natural state, and then what's actually happening, right? So that's interesting, man. We should have a show like specifically on this subject. And please if you want to talk about it, like, come on in and like let's jump in, because I think since people don't have subjects like this, it's as new, and this is something that we need to actually discuss, because it's important, obviously, because I'm sure there's a whole slew of trans men that would love to figure themselves out if there was a way to figure this out in terms of having a midlife crisis.
I don't know. I think when it comes to, this is what I feel like when it comes to certain trans and stuff, when it comes to that, a lot of that, I think it's more of the straight people trying to figure themselves out than them. They already figure out what they want. Whether we want to go crazy, we want to stay. No, that's why I said, like, no, they whatever identity crisis they had led to them making a decision to become who they are.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a certain type of confidence that's found when you stand up and you do something like that, and you take the heat, and then you make new friends in there, right? And you become someone else, right? Versus someone who's lived a life and only did this and only stuck to the rules. You feel what I'm saying? And wakes up one day and go, who the hell am I?
Oh, okay.
That's
you're absolutely right. It's like they completely did it a long time ago, so it's not even an issue.
You see where I'm coming from, Pete?
Yeah, it's like, oh man, fuck that, I'm already here. Like, it's
like, you know, like, hey, I've been struggling with.
So there is a trans man watching, and he says that for the most part you're right, but not entirely right.
Oh, come on in.
I can't. I know that. Come on in here. I know I don't know. That's why I told you I can't give you a definitive on that. There's too many variables involved in that, and it's not completely the same, right?
Yeah.
And this is just us speaking off the top of our head,
because we don't know. We don't know.
But obviously, it was a good, intelligent, you know, pull together, because they didn't say, hey, you wrong. They just said there's more to it.
I just think it's important for us to be like, hey, you know, this is a subject matter we've never discussed, and we don't necessarily know, but we do know that it could be this way and it could be that way. But the confirmation is awesome, and we really appreciate it, and because we want to learn more as well. So
I can say this: when it comes to trans, these are people that's already been reflecting on their identity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Many of them have already went through the dark night of the soul, in a sense. right?
I think the
Might
whole
not like
community.
who they are on the other side, but
Yeah.
they do, and that's what's the most important part,
Mhm.
right? And so what we talking about is men right now that with the midlife crisis, because only 1% of men are actually really doing well for themselves.
Hmm.
If you go do some math and look at some statistics, you'll find out that most of the stuff you talk has been curated in your mind from social media, from talking points. They have nothing to do with statistical data.
Hmm.
The statistics says a very different story.
Hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? There's a and a lot of men are lost, and trans men, or just trans people in general. You have to give them some sort of goddamn credit, man, because at least they are trying to be whoever they want to be. And it seems like most people's suffering is coming from they won't accept who they are. They won't even look at who they are. They're afraid if they even enter into the territory of who they want to be, that the world they feel they curated will completely fall apart and they will fall into the vacuum of space.
Now, I do have another question since I'm having all the good questions, right? Are y'all sure that men don't suffer some type of pain or something going on? I know we have menopause, but
hurt,
y'all
back
gotta
hurt.
have something physically that
Feedback.
happens during this midlife stuff. Because
Well,
we
first of all,
also have the mental and the physical. What
You
is
got-
your physical piece?
there's
Back.
back pains, there's
Knees.
bloating, there's increased chance of diabetes,
Swelling of the ankles.
that which can be related to diabetes.
Gout.
Okay, so this is a little funny one. So, Chef, are you going through a midlife crisis with your shirt unbuttoned? Is
Hell
that
yeah. Hell yeah. We about to bust it all the way open.
Hey,
Well, it's hot up in here, so
I'm
we
about to
got
call
lights
him
on and
Chip
stuff like that. I
Andale.
gotta keep it cool. But hey, I like it.
You
don't like it?
heard? I'm about to call him Chip and Dale.
Oh wow.
I'm just wondering.
You know what I'm talking about? Yo, they famous.
Hey, listen.
out here, man.
Hey,
I
listen.
bought my first motorcycle out here from a Chip and Dale dancer.
Everybody
You
can't wear the little mock neck with a shirt with your flies open.
I mean,
Everybody can't do it.
I'm telling you, man, you looking like $1 million right now. If you would tell me right now, tell us about your course.
My course. Oh, you did. You sure didn't catch me, bro. I'm like,
Yeah,
funny.
you got the $1 million ideals going on right now.
Yeah, I do. But you have to sign up. You have to reserve your time and your space, and then when you reserve your space, we'll send you a confirmation email, and we'll send you a video in that email that will tell you exactly what to do. 10 to 15 minutes is all you need. There we go.
There you go. You see that? And that's what an open shirt could do for you. Yo, listen, I was messing around.
Ah,
DJ said nothing.
Pete, did you believe that something was being sold right then?
Don't you say it. Don't you say it.
I ain't gonna
Don't you
say nothing.
it.
But yes, it seemed like you was selling something.
Something. Don't know what, but it was something, right?
I know what she was going to say. Don't you say it.
Selling some- Oh, okay. All right.
Man, you
That's
should tell your
funny.
friend or whoever it was. I say your friend because your community is your friend, and you got thousands of friends out there. People.
No, we need to have an episode, yo, like for real, because I think we just I stumped by what we don't know, and just the fact that we don't know, and we're curious to know. I think that's enough.
I want to
Peach, hook it up.
Tim,
Look it up,
Tim
Peach.
tell us. He'll
What?
tell us in a straight kind of cold way too.
Cool.
Tim is kind
Oh,
of
Tim. Oh, so you want to have an episode with midlife with LGBT men?
Yeah. That's
So
Exactly.
yeah, you could probably get Tim.
Yeah.
And I can see if I could find a trans man to come
That's
on and
important.
have the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Breaking
But-
barriers here, because this is not subjects that are discussed. You know, Make that
Well, I don't
rain.
know about you, but this is stuff that I discuss.
I ain't say nothing, did I? You know,
Well, hold on.
I done came
Midlife
on the
cri-
show.
Well, you discussed midlife crisis.
We discuss everything under the sun amongst ourselves.
Hmm. Interesting. I just didn't know many people discuss midlife crisis because it's just not. We don't really discuss it that much.
Right, but
Yeah, I love that y'all are discussing it for men because, again, like I said, behind the scenes to live, um, black women, I'm getting on you right now. You don't think that men go through shit.
Hmm.
You think men wake up and they're here to be the parties that take care of you, give you money, they slave, they're cavemen, they fix shit in the house, and nothing goes on with them. And if they decide to shed one tear or feel one pain, you're pissed because you feel like they're still in your moment. But that is not the case. They are humans. So let me get off my soapbox.
thank you for that human disclosure. We are humans, you know. Well, he
Mhm.
is.
I'm trying. My DNA didn't come back yet, so we'll see.
I hope it didn't go to ancestry.
You know, I knew someone who got their DNA tested 4 times, and the last time they were like, we can't identify what you are." They said every test was like, "We can't identify what you are," but the last one was like, "Yeah, we're just gonna give you your money back."
Yeah. Well, someone gave them like some goat DNA one time, and they told them that they came from West Africa.
Hmm. Did you see they
It's
put a
crazy. That's
equal?
why it's listed as entertainment for
Yeah.
entertainment purposes.
Mhm. Yeah, it's not even real. It's like,
No,
okay.
learn your genealogy. Don't listen to that stupidness. They can't track your people back like that. That's insane, bro. They have to dig people up for that. You really know how many ancestors? That's insane, yo. I don't know, man. Movie logic is leaked out into the real world.
Movie logic, yeah. Yeah. So,
The lines are
what are
open,
the
everyone.
what are the plans this weekend?
The lines are open, everyone. I'll tell you, the lines are open, everyone, and we would love for you to come up and share your thoughts and opinions. And we want to thank you for listening in. We appreciate you, and yeah, the only way we're gonna be able to spread these messages is if you hit that like button and share, and send it out to the people you know. And let's get this out there. Let's grow this community. Let's grow this movement of positive, true positive change and lasting change through the power of the mind in a sustainable, systematic, teachable way. So, Beyond the Mind and Beyond the Mind hypnotherapy.com is where you can find me. You can always go on there. I also have a nice little video that you can watch at the bottom that I think you'll find very enjoyable and powerful. And there's also blogs that we do and I do that share about hypnotherapy and different and just a bunch of different very cool psychological things you might find very interesting. And you can also find the Beyond the Mind shop there where you can get the Beyond the Mind jackets and coats, hoodies, t-shirts, and sweaters and journals and coffee mugs for the person that says, I don't want to see anything until I have my cup of coffee. And so, yeah. So, lines are open. Please feel free to jump on in. We love to hear from you. Peach, I want to thank you for jumping in with some wonderfully great questions. And I want to thank whomever that was that responded with that information. I love if they follow up and share with us what is the other part that might be missing from what we said so that we can have even a fuller picture. Because we're really here to grow and learn and share what we've been learning, right? That works. Everything we do and share has been tested and it works. It works with the clients that I work with. It works with the clients that Chef works with. And that's what we're about. We're about giving some real tangible tools that actually work, and not really trying to sell you on a pipe dream that, in the next 60 seconds, I'm going to manifest you $1 million. You know, that's not going to happen because you don't believe that's going to happen. You might physically or verbally say that, but there's part of you that's laughing at that because it knows that it's ridiculous, because you're never going to get more than what you believe. And your beliefs aren't surface. They're not the things that you tell other people about. Your beliefs are the things that make you say, I don't know why that happens to me. See, that's your real belief. Your belief is in the things you see in your world. If people aren't doing right by you, that's your belief. You don't believe people do right by you, and you're not going to see evidence of anything else. And even if that evidence presented itself to you, you would still merely vanquish it through the filter of your belief. So what we also want to share is the power of your own mind. And one of the things I want to say about this midlife crisis is when you take the time to begin to identify with yourself, when you take the time to really sit with why you want what you want, to really begin to analyze, are the things that you have and that you are after, are they yours because that's what you've always wanted? Or did you do them for someone else to get the acceptance of someone else? And when you start analyzing and looking out and writing down these various things that happen to you, and you see them in a line, you see them in a consistent, you will see your own pattern. And you will see your own belief. And that's one way you can find your own belief. Right? Because your belief ain't what you say. If it was what you say, we all be rich. We all have the perfect relationship. Nobody would ever screw you over. You don't have no late bills. But you don't believe that. You say it. But you don't believe it. And what we do is we help you convince yourself of new beliefs. Because you cannot just change your belief, because you didn't choose your belief. You was convinced of it. And now you need to convince yourself of something else. And that's what we do. So this was my little break ad here, just to promote our business and the fact that we are hypnotherapists. And my buddy Chef here is as a Reiki practitioner as well. He's powerful Reiki. He also is a master of hypnotism and also a master of rapport. He's a generally down-to-earth, good guy that helps strangers, that helps people out in the real world. He's actually helped people, And this is before he ever was, when he was still in the film business, right? He was the kind of guy that would come and see you and help you. He even put people in hotels that were sleeping on the street.
That is true.
Right? This is the level and quality that we bring when we work with people. Right? We get results because you came for results, not because our ego demands it. And I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, we're here to help. And not only that we're here to help, we actually enjoy helping. Enjoy helping you and enjoy hopefully giving you the tools that you need or that you don't have to help improve your life. And that's really the most important. We're here to help you help yourself and help you help your family. And that's really why we're here.
I'm here because wherever messed up place you in, I've been there. Right? I've been to the bottom. My grandmother used to say, when you hit the ground, there's only one way to go. Up.
And what better yet?
We got Peach back in the house. What's up, Peach?
I realized that I was behind the scenes making phone calls to see if I could get people on here, right, to
Mm-hmm.
talk about midlife crisis, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so then I'm realizing in these conversations, they don't know if they're in midlife crisis. They're like, how would I know? What is
See
the
that, and see
signs?
that's the thing. They don't. Most people don't know because it's not even a male conversation. See this is the problem because women y'all always discuss it. You know, you have someone. Oh, girl, I don't know, and then you be like, have you had this? Have you done this? And like, no, okay, then you might be starting this. Men, we don't know. Yo, like we just don't. And the signs is that cortisol. Cortisol. If you see someone who can't lose that stomach, that's a telltale sign.
Of course, well, not necessarily of a midlife crisis.
It's a telltale sign that someone could be going through a midlife crisis.
One of the signs
Could
of
be.
midlife
Could
crisis
be.
is a man with between the ages of 39 and 40 and 55.
55.
Okay.
Mhm.
That is experiencing drastic mood swings, okay, who is starting to feel disconnected or disassociated from their life, okay, someone who seems to can't get it together, they begin to procrastinate on a lot of things, or they do the opposite, they might go extreme,
Moody.
right? These are some of the signs, but once again,
Grumpy.
yeah, if there's a sense of feeling like their life at that point has been something that isn't satisfying,
Mm-hmm.
if they find themselves in a constant state of sort of existential dread.
Mm-hmm. Or incompleteness, not feeling complete, like you have a lack of something's missing and you just can't put a finger
Yep.
on it.
They may stop doing the activities they used to
Mhm.
like to do. They can't find any fun or enjoyment in that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they might start suffering more from not clinical depression, but from depression. Or more days where you're feeling I'm just out of it, sad. You know, sleeping anymore.
Well, my sign, because I want to tell you how I experienced it. My sign was knowing something's wrong, but not being able to put a finger on it. Like I know something's wrong, but I don't know what it is. And then when I found out what it was like, all this time, if I'd have just talked to someone, I'd have been a lot more agreeable, a lot easier to get along with, or I even may have been felt a lot better, had I known what the symptoms were. Because we just don't express the symptoms. The symptoms are you get tired, you go to sleep earlier. You get the old man times, you go to bed at 9, wake up at 3 in the morning. Being grumpy is one thing, just being a lot more impatient without understanding why you're impatient. Yeah. And I'm going to step away for really quickly now that you're back.
Yeah, that's what I was saying though. That's what I meant when I said like mood swings and stuff. I think those are some of the symptoms there. But like I said, it's psychological, so it's on a case by case basis, right? Depending, on the individual, But yeah, those are some of the symptoms. Peach, anything else you want to ask? I love having you up here.
And they said, how young does the girl have to be? When the man goes out and how young does she have to be to qualify for midlife crisis?
Oh, between the ages of say 19 and 27.
No, talking about how young is the girl that the man goes out and have the affair with? How many years apart should they be in order for you to determine that's a midlife crisis? So is it 7 years, 8?
If the man is, like I said, if he's in his, say, we're going to go early. Let's say he's 42. Okay? And he's dating a girl that's 22 years old.
Okay.
Right? He has no intention of starting a family. Right? Like I said, it's unfair. Right?
Okay.
I think personally, that's why you see so many of these older dudes constantly hollering, "Good, well, that's why you gotta get them when she. I don't want no older woman because she can't handle my babies." And do. But you're like 50-something years old. You still trying to have babies. I gotta leave my legacy. Who are you, Caesar? What are we talking about here? You know, that's just my personal opinion. You know, it really boils down, and that's who I see a great deal of that is. It's like these guys that are in their 50s and so forth, and they're like, well, she got to be 23, 22. That's who, and it's like, well, and then the reason for it is, well, older women are what? They're difficult. She's already had kids. You can't have my babies now, and or she's difficult, or she thinks we're not equal. A younger girl is more pliable and willing to work with me, and it's like all these weird reasons. And I think like to me, that's like a total sign of a midlife crisis, in my opinion. Does that make sense?
It does. Ladies, stay away. Run.
I mean, there was a time that was the, now it wasn't, because at 50 back then, you was like a great grandfather. These people were having them young, And I think a lot of the culture has always been kind of barbaric, if you ask me. And that's why I wouldn't get in a time machine and go in the past. I'd go to the future. I want to see how much better it gets. But that's just one man's humble opinion, I would definitely love to do that show though, and just have, a conversation about it. From my perspective, it feels it's amazing because it did a complete 180, not a 360. Didn't go back to what men used to do, right? It went to like some awareness stuff, and they're not buying sports cars now, and going to BetterHelp. Something wrong with me, Doc. I gotta get some help.
Hey, there we go. Back again. What I missed?
Huh? Oh, nothing. You didn't miss anything. Just a few minutes time.
Pretty good episode, I think. To not have many people in the room.
I don't know how many people's in the room. I mean, I'm not really.
No guests. Besides.
Oh
Peach.
well, you know what? I'm gonna keep true to this. I know Peach has been our guest, so we did have a guest.
They are watching. They are intrigued. I keep seeing people just watching. You blew them away. They don't want to say too much because uncharted territory.
It is. But
I can see why. Let me just say, in this climate, in this world today, I can understand why some of the very awesome part of your community that is gay and trans might be quiet or not know where we're coming from. But as they begin to watch and learn that we're allied to everyone, that we understand, because we deal with psychology and we deal with wholeness, not fractional stuff, but wholeness. We view people as a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And we are open is accepting to everyone because we know we're all from that great source of energy. So to the ones that are watching who aren't saying anything, it's okay. It's just a matter of time. You will come to know that we are someone you could come up here and communicate with, and it'll be a great conversation. And anytime we speak together, it's going to bring growth and development for everyone involved, because we aren't here for our egos to be fueled. We're here to be of service to humanity, to share actual tools and get into conversations and also talk about things that everyone else is not just talking about. We don't want to be everyone else. We want to come with our own gift, our own words, and our own unique fingerprint for this landscape of podcasting. So to everyone out there that's listening on that side, I thank you for listening. You do not.
And this is a safe place. This is a safe place. So,
But it takes time to know so a place is safe. You can't just take my word for it. Just keep coming back to the show. See how the energy flows. See how the people come up and how they get respected. And how everyone that comes up here shares a perspective we can learn from, no matter what they say. So I want to say that. We appreciate everybody just listening. And I'm listening to Peach too. Usually I'm way more formal than this. But today I'm just like, I don't fish.
Oh, quiet.
Yeah,
Oh,
I had a joke about water, but I decided not to tell it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I had an
happened to
uncle
that?
who never drank water.
Hmm.
Yeah, you know why?
He didn't like the taste.
No, he said fish shit in it.
Yeah.
It was a joke, man.
Mm-hmm. Still true.
It is true. It is.
Still true.
But this water is good. They should pay me to promote it, and I will tell you what it was. But since they won't, I won't do that.
Hmm.
This water is from Eternal. It's delicious. You should drink it. It's like 9.5 pH balance.
Mm-hmm.
It is in a plastic bottle, so I'm probably absorbing microplastics at the same time. But you can't beat that pH balance, can you?
Yeah. I've been drinking. It's called Alive Water. It's
Let me guess. It's live water.
exactly what it is. It's from Oregon spring water. You can't leave it. Yeah, can't leave it in the sun because if you leave it in the sun because it's living water, it will turn green on you. So you got to leave it like in the shade or dark area. It is amazing water.
Mm.
It is amazing.
Mm.
Amazing. Comes in these beautiful glass bottles, so it's nice.
I had some water from like Norwegian. It was amazing. It was like $5,000 a bottle.
Hmm.
They had to get it for this director at the MTV Music Awards. They flew it in too.
Yeah, he was overcharging production like a mofo.
They flew it in, bro. They flew it in.
I'm sure they did.
And I drank it. I drank his water. He was mad. It's too late now. Nobody can ever say it. I don't care. I drank your water, man. It was me. I did it. It was delicious too. You didn't care. You had a bunch of those bottles. You act like you cared about that one bottle. I mean, it was $5,000.
It wasn't $5,000. It was more like $5 that they marked up to production.
No. I was there when they had to order this water, sir. No, sir. It's one of them elite, expensive. There's certain things in this world, places. It was from one of those places, sir. It was from one of. They flew it in less than 72 hours, bro.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude was some big deal.
I can guarantee you they're not flying in water no more.
Oh no, this was before COVID. This was
They're
before
like,
COVID. You know what I'm saying was before COVID, right?
Arrowhead.
After COVID, they was like production. Wait, y'all lucky to be here.
You're lucky to get a bottle of Arrowhead, bro.
Yeah, Arrowhead, you're gonna get that Kroger water. Yeah, that's what you're gonna get.
Oh, they're not giving away anything.
That water they put under.
No, dude. The rap gifts suck now. It's like they're not even getting no rap gifts. You get a T-shirt, which you just used to get shirts. That's just normal. You get on a show, here, take a shirt. All right, cool. They're holding that off to the end for the shirts.
I think I still got my Mall Cop 2 book. The little set book they make.
Yeah.
Of the whole crew throughout the whole shoot. Mm-hmm. Usually somebody put it together and stuff. They go around. I still got mine somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, we get way off script. I guess we're gonna call this one a night. We just had a wonderful show, and I just started,
flashbacks and reminiscing because we're old.
No, stop saying that. You could be as old as you want to be, man.
I'm young, bro.
Then why you want to say that?
Well, yeah, because you always get offended when I
because Bruce Lee said it best, man. Don't speak ill of yourself, not even as a joke.
I have wisdom beyond my years.
Then use it.
I didn't use it. I think I set myself up for that one.
You totally well, here you go. This was like when you first learned baseball and they put the little thing on the puck, and you just sort of got to stand there, and they'd be like,
T-ball,
run.
yeah.
That's how you just gave it to me. Like, run, little man, run.
Good times. Well, thank you, audience, for listening to us entertain ourselves, and thank you for another week of Beyond the Mind with Mr. Talib Kearns and myself, Stefan Rasika. It's always a pleasure to serve you and to listen to what Peach has to tell us that you guys say. You
sound like Stevie Wonder when you said that. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you.
But we enjoyed the time, and I'm going to pass the mic over to Sir Talib Kearns.
Thank you so much. I want to thank you, Seth, for joining the show today. It was such a beautiful experience. And to my audience out there, I love Stevie Wonder. He's amazing. It's a gift. Well, listen, thank you guys for joining Beyond the Mind Hypnotherapy. We'll come back with you next week. Also, we're going to try to put that together. I'm going to speak with Peach behind the scenes. Maybe we'll come on to the other show, me and Chef together this time, so we can ask some more questions. That was really cool. That was a lot of fun. And also, there's some big things coming up. We do have a retreat that we're putting together. We're going to keep everybody in the loop. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be wonderful. True transformation that lasts is what we're offering. And so that'll be coming up down the pipeline. As for next week, our goal for next week is to get my Gong Fu Shifu back here. And he's going to talk about best ways to stay in shape after the age of 40 for men, physically and psychologically. And I think that'd be a wonderful topic. And guess what? That's for everyone.
Good stuff.
You know? So we want to thank you all once again, and we will see you on the next one.
See you next week. Take care.
You see, there's been a big misconception in the world of hypnosis. Hypnosis is a natural state. It's something we go in and out of all the time. But we can use that state to affect our own behaviors. So this is a do with. I'm going to work with your unconscious mind. I'm going to work with this 88. You're going to work with the 12, right? Because together, when we work together, we can bring 100% of the mind together. That's the power of your own mind.
So I just attended Talib's group hypnosis, Beyond the Mind, and it was amazing. And the fact that I feel so refreshed and so energetic afterwards is amazing. It's a wonderful feeling. This was a bonus. So for the last couple days, I had been experiencing a pain behind my face. On a scale from 1 to 10, not even a 1, more like a dull ache. And